I trusted her completely, until one night, a text changed everything. Hello everyone, sorry in advance, I am not a native English speaker. I've been married to my beautiful wife for about 4.5 years now. We have two boys who just turned 3 and 2. Since we are both working full-time and have small kids, our sexual life dropped to once a week. I have high libido but never put pressure on my wife to do something. I pick up kids from daycare, I cook, I clean, I give kids bath, I change kids diapers, I take them on their appointments, I do a lot. We always had our routine. We go to sleep early around 9 to 9:30. She went out with her girlfriends maybe a couple times a month. She was coming home early, nothing crazy, nothing suspicious. I completely trusted my wife. Earlier this year in April, she told me she felt like we were growing apart. She don't feel like having sex anymore. She said we can just live together but no sex anymore because she doesn't want to force herself to do anything. I had no idea what happened because we were good. No arguments or anything. Literally the same day went back to normal. Had some sexy time, good dinner like nothing ever happened. 2 months later, May 22nd, she randomly started asking me about the small gated community in southern part of our city. It's pretty much an area by the beach, middle-class older people. She sent me a screenshot like she and one of her girlfriends, let's call her Girl A, we're talking about a catch-up over there, and that girl also have female cousin in that area. That girl lives 10 minutes away from there. She want to hang out over there. We have each other locations. So I saw they were at the restaurant and I didn't pay no mind. Days later, she randomly sent me her boobs picture. She almost never does that. When I saved picture, it was taken 3 days before that late night in our bathroom. June 2nd, she went to catch up with her other friend she didn't see for months. A couple of hours later, she told me the place closed early, and she decided to catch up with Girl A and that girl's cousin in that gated community again. They were at the beach. Almost 2 weeks later, Friday early morning, she was shaving her private parts. That night she went out and started sending me screenshots how Girl A has problems with her husband, and my wife had to go to that gated community to wait over there at the cousin house. It was 10 o'clock. Maybe 30 minutes later I texted her, and she responded right away saying she's still waiting for a friend. We exchanged a few texts, and she was responding right away. I fell asleep, and 11:30 I woke up and saw that she was still in that house, so I texted, what's going on? What are you still doing over there? She said it's a long story. That girl showed up and went back home and blah blah blah. She told me she called Uber and go home. Literally 5 minutes after I texted her, she was already on the way back home. 3 days later, I came home after work. I cooked a meal for my family. She ate. She fell asleep. I checked her phone, and there was a dude. He was muted. Conversation with him was deleted besides last 2 messages, one from my wife. You crazy? I am not going to know where my husband just cooked food, and picture of my food and him. That looks good. He was sharing his location with my wife, and he was in the same neighborhood where she used to go to hang out, and literally in one of those houses she was hanging out on Friday. I woke her up and confronted her, and she got scared at first, started making up excuses. Then she said how she was walking to the cousin's house, and there was a dude neighbor standing next door looking at her, and how he got her phone number from that cousin, and they've been only talking for 1 day. Like she swear on lives of our kids she never did anything wrong, and she wants me to trust her, and our marriage means so much for her, and blah blah blah. She blocked him right away and said she will never talk to him again, and even get close to that area etc. I saved his number and texted him saying I am this girl's husband and I see what's going on, and invited him to meet me, especially because I can see his location on my wife's phone. He blocked my number. You guys can call me stupid, but I believed in all that crap. A couple weeks later, I was still trying to absorb everything, and I went back on her phone. Dude was still blocked. I went to conversation with her girlfriend they had that night, and that just don't make no sense to me. After that girl texted my wife about problems at home, my wife went straight to that house without address or anything, and she finally called that girl when she was already over here. Also, she started sharing her location with that girl around that time. How can you just randomly go to someone's house you met only once before, at 10 p.m. Friday night? Without address. I opened the conversation with the girl. She claimed she went out on June 2nd, and the last time they spoke was in early May. No phone calls or anything. And the most important thing, there was no Uber rides that day. Pretty much someone came to pick her up from us, drove to that house, then drove her back home. I lived knowing this for the last 6 months. We went on 2 vacations together. She goes out as she used to before. A couple times a month. She is trying to call me every time she is out to show me who is she with. She stopped talking to that girlfriend and kind of things got back to normal. But man, it's just eating me alive. Last week I decided to talk about what happened. She denied everything and said she can show me Uber rides. I said okay, show me, and she got crazy, started screaming, okay, let's divorce, let's divorce. I don't want to be with you because you don't trust me. I didn't do anything wrong. That guy is 38 years old and lives with his mom, dad, 3 sisters and nephews in that home. I love my family, I love my kids. We kind of got back how we used to be last 6 months. Yesterday she was telling me how we gonna go for another vacation next year, and we will upgrade our wedding rings. and she cannot wait to start 2025 with her family. Those 3 weeks in June, she was still treating me good. She made reservation for a steakhouse for my birthday in July and invited a bunch of people. She booked us a vacation and she paid for it. Like I don't know what to do. I don't trust her anymore. I don't want to do nice things for her anymore. She feels that. I love my kids. I want them to be with both parents. Last week, she asked me if can close this topic forever and never talk about this again because it makes her distant from me. I said okay, but I think about that every day. I just wear myself out.